Introducing the iPhone 6s and the iPhone 6s Plus. We are
Apple CEO Tim Cook unveiling the next iPhone at an event in San Francisco today. The 6s has a faster processor, a better camera and touchscreen. The company also showed off a new Apple TV, an iPad Pro, and more fashion choices for its very expensive smartwatch. So lots of splashy announcements by Apple, but let's turn to Graham Williams now, as we often do, for a little guidance on what we should zero in on. And the Apple TV announcement kind of got you interested. So first of all, what is Apple TV?
Apple TV is a gateway for content into your home. A lot of people have purchased Apple TV in the past because they wanted Netflix on their television. As we started to see, a lot of televisions are shipping with Netflix apps built in. So Apple has evolved Apple TV to become more of a content gateway that comprises a number of different channels.
So starting next month, we can go to the Apple Store or wherever else and buy a brand new Apple TV. And what is it about that box, which we could plug into our TV, that excites you?
Well, the cool thing now is that Apple has put a lot of heavy-duty hardware in there. So the same hardware that we're seeing in the iPad line that can handle a lot of heavy-duty graphics as well as high-definition video, that's in there. There's a new remote, and this remote has a touch panel up top so you can navigate around. But the really cool thing is the integration of Siri and contextual search, which may sound complicated, but basically you can ask it real-world questions and it will come up with results that actually matter to what it is that you're looking for.
So for example, you were searching once for Claire Danes.
Yes, and it brought up shows like Homeland. You can ask for, find this episode of this show that has this actor in it, and Siri's smart enough to actually go and look for that and find it.
But here's the key, I know you know this, but it's worth pointing out. This whole system is only as good as the content it's allowed to show you. So it's connected to the internet, but all those TV shows that many of us currently pay for now, how are we going to be able to get that through Apple TV?
So this is where the different channels on Apple TV are going to make the difference for Apple going forwards. They do have their iTunes store, which has been very popular in the past. They have access to Netflix. There are also new channels for places like HBO Go. The difficulty for Canadians is that some of these channels aren't actually available here. So things like Vudu and Hulu, we don't have a lot of that content because of licensing agreements. So you'll search for it, but you may not actually be able to watch it.
And here is, and we just have about a minute left, potentially a huge problem. Think Blue Jays, for example, right? Hugely rated right now. A lot of people loving watching them. They're owned by Rogers. Rogers owns a cable system. They may not want to play with Apple.
And this really is where the difficulty comes in. Major League Baseball was on stage today and did commit to having sports on this network. We also heard that NHL would be on here as of 2016. The difficulty again goes back to licensing. Whether or not Rogers wants the Blue Jays on Apple TV is going to be up to Rogers. Whether they want to actually engage with that audience and play ball with Apple is up to them.
Well, I guess we'll see. I get the sense you're going to be in line there in a month's time and buy it, so we'll check back with you maybe in November to see how the new Apple TV works. Graham, always nice talking to you.
Thank you.